World reacts to Princess Leonor's surprise wedding news. Ring royal shocker. A crown, a duty, a destiny. But then, everything changed. Princess Leonor, married. And the world reacts in shock. The world woke up to headlines no one expected. Princess Leonor of Spain, heir to the throne, has married, and the announcement has left nations stunned, newspapers scrambling, and millions of people asking the same question: how did this happen so suddenly? For years, Leonor has been carefully prepared for her role as future queen. Every step of her life has been choreographed. From her early childhood appearances, to her military training, to her poised speeches at international forums, she has been a symbol of duty, discipline, and modern monarchy. But today, she has rewritten her own story. Not as just a princess. Not as just an heir. But as a woman who has chosen love. And the reactions across the globe reveal just how powerful this choice truly is. In Spain, the nation is divided. Crowds poured into the streets of Madrid, some cheering in joy, waving flags, celebrating a moment they describe as history touched by love. Others stand in quiet shock, unsure what this means for the monarchy, uneasy with the secrecy that surrounded the decision. For many Spaniards, this wedding feels like a triumph of romance over duty. But for others, it sparks fear. Has their future queen broken tradition too boldly? Across Europe, the ripple effects are enormous. In France, commentators on morning television declared the wedding the shock of the century, comparing it to the dramatic twists of royal history. In the United Kingdom, journalists are already drawing parallels with moments that shook the British crown, from Edward VIII's abdication for Wallis Simpson, to the romance of Diana and Charles, to the defiance of Harry and Meghan. Could Leonor's marriage signal a new era, where love outweighs politics, or will it ignite fresh tension within royal circles? In Denmark, whispers of alliances are surfacing. Could Leonor's choice mean closer ties to another royal family, or does it pull Spain in a more independent direction? Royal watchers there recall the rumored friendships between young heirs, questioning whether this wedding was long in the making, hidden from public view until the moment was right. And then, across the Atlantic, in the United States, the shockwaves are just as powerful. American networks broke into live programming to cover the news. Talk shows exploded with debate. Some hailed it as the ultimate fairy tale, a young woman who could one day rule a country choosing her own happiness. Others questioned the secrecy. Why was the world caught by surprise? Why no slow build of engagement, no months of anticipation, no grand announcements? And yet, perhaps that is why the world is so captivated. Because this was not the polished performance of monarchy. It was raw. It was human. It was a princess refusing to wait for permission to love. But now, the questions only deepen. Who is her husband? What role will he play in her future reign? Does this marriage strengthen the crown, or expose it to risk? Some reports suggest he comes from a background outside traditional aristocracy, a choice that breaks centuries of dynastic precedent. If true, it makes the wedding even more revolutionary. Because never before has a Spanish heir stepped so boldly outside royal tradition. Inside the palace, emotions are said to be complex. King Felipe, dignified as always, is reported to have walked his daughter down the aisle with pride, though his expression carried the weight of history. Queen Letizia, radiant and elegant, was seen wiping away tears. For them, this was not only the marriage of their daughter, but the moment their heir took her destiny into her own hands. Still, advisors are divided. Some see this as brilliant, a way to connect the crown to a new generation, to prove that monarchy can adapt to modern values of love, choice, and independence. Others warn it is dangerous, that in breaking from tradition, Leonor may have opened the crown to criticism, even vulnerability. The global public, however, cannot look away. Every photograph of the ceremony is being shared millions of times online. Clips of Leonor's vows, her radiant smile, her husband's steady gaze, these images are now etched in history. For some, it is the most beautiful proof that royalty is still relevant when it reflects humanity. For others, it is evidence that the mystique of monarchy is fading, giving way to something more ordinary, more vulnerable, more unpredictable. And yet, beneath all the debate, one truth emerges: the world is fascinated because the story is not just about royalty. It is about love. The universal longing for connection, even when burdened by crowns and thrones. The courage to choose the heart, even when history demands the opposite. Still, curiosity burns. Why now? Why so suddenly? Was the secrecy a strategy to avoid political interference? Was it to protect Leonor's choice before opposition could mount? Or was it simply the unstoppable force of love refusing to wait? Every answer opens another question. Every detail deepens the mystery. And as the world reacts, one thing is certain: nothing about this wedding will be forgotten. It will be studied, debated, and remembered as a turning point in royal history. Princess Leonor's surprise wedding has stunned the globe. Spain is transformed. Europe is shaken. America is captivated. And everywhere, people are asking, what comes next? For Leonor, the journey is only beginning. She is now not just a daughter, not just an heir, not just a symbol. She is a wife, standing beside the man she chose. The world will watch every step, every gesture, every decision from this moment forward. Because today, love did not simply enter a palace. It rewrote the story of a crown. The world reacts in shock. And the story is far from over.